Hi there everyone, welcome back to another New World video, and today I just wanted to go over some relative content to making money early on in New World, and just kind of give a broad overview. One of the biggest things to be aware of is checking markets from other towns, and this is going to essentially allow you to get ahead of the curve early on. And I know a lot of people are putting a lot of time into this game, rushing as fast as possible early on, and that's really just what a lot of people are pushing for, myself included. So, figured I'd go ahead and try to give some information out there on, you know, how to get ahead. So, again, using other markets, or checking other markets and other towns is a great way to see where options are for the most profits. And if you're not aware, the auction house or the trading post, whatever it's called specifically, they are specific to a town, and you can check them in the top right corner. There's a drop down on selecting which town and what's available and that sort of thing. So the only other thing I would say before we get into the breakdown of each day, I'm going to break it down into 3 days, is using other towns if they have a higher bench level. I think there's a tier of 1 to 5, and this will essentially allow you to create certain levels of things. So at certain levels you need, a level 3 workbench to craft steel tools, for instance. So just jumping right in, day 1 market. Your best option for gold here and Azoth is probably questing. Questing is going to get you very far. Day 1, probably up until like 15 or so. That's when you might start being able to, get more into crafting to keep up and make the same amount. And one of the big things here is quest items. So you can find a river plant. I can't remember the name of it now. River crest, I think. And there's also like this green bulb plant. And they're just found out near rivers for the most part. And you can sell those for a lot of gold early on in the market. So keep an eye out for those. And some quality of life items are tools and bags. So all your generic iron tools are a great option early on, and bags are great for increasing encumbrance. So people are always looking to buy those on the market. And early on, I believe it's a good idea to add Azoth to it, because if you just spend the 15 Azoth, you're basically guarantee a green item, basically giving you an extra perk on there. And what this does is just increases your revenue on trading your item there. And from if you're doing main story quests from like 15 to 20, you're pretty much guarantee to have a good amount of Azoth. So that's great. Moving on here, town board items. It's a great idea to try to sell these items. So specifically fishing oil, fillets, and all kinds of different materials like hides and stuff. If you have like a lot extra and you don't want to use them towards leveling up your skill, early on you can sell them towards the market for people to buy to essentially turn them into the town board. Moving on, potions are another great early on item to get. That's convenient. Just got a common health potion. So weak and common health potions are going to be super popular early on, just because people are, going to be lazy and want them, and not want to craft them, that sort of thing. And when it comes to engineering, bullets and arrows are going to sell like crazy, and it's just another thing that people don't want to craft. and they want to just buy it and have it right away. So, moving on, day 2 is continuation of tools and bags. Basically the second tier. So for tools, it's going to be your steel tools for the most part. I would continue to add Azoth on those. I definitely think it's worth the investment. And bags, you should be able to make the tier 2 or tier 3 bags at this point, as long as you're, consistently leveling up those skills. And we kind of get into a new set of things here. So food. And I think food's gonna start being used a lot more on like day 2 and 3 for people that are quite ahead, because they want to get that extra attributes, especially for running dungeons. And people are gonna start probably running the Amarine dungeon at this point. And moving on to my next point, gear. If it's green and it has pure attribute, like for instance, Warhammer has like plus 13 strength, that would be like a great item to sell on the marketplace. And you can start it out at like, I don't know, 200 gold, give or take. And you can adjust it depending on, other markets and seeing, what the market looks like. So another thing I just want to touch on real quick, there's a high watermark system in the game. And if you guys don't know what it is, essentially, if there's a better item and you equip it, it will increase your gear score. And then it'll essentially watermark that, so you can go back to wearing your past item, and your gear score will be watermarked for future drops. Hopefully that makes sense. Essentially, you want to equip stuff that's a higher gear score, so that you're consistently getting things that are higher gear score, instead of just equipping or keeping the stuff that you've had equipped for like 3-4 levels. Hopefully that makes sense. So moving on again, day 3 is really going to be big for jewelry. When you hit level 40, you unlock another jewelry slot, and this is when people are really wanting jewelry and usually don't have it due to not getting drops from it because they're super rare, and also you get some from the storyline, but they're usually not too great. So the hardest part about jewelry is getting the sheer amount of silver, because you need 2 different types of bands or pieces to craft the jewelry. So it's definitely hard to get the amount of silver needed to craft some good jewelry. But if you grind that out a little bit, you can make tons and tons of money. So even if you guys want to start that early on and just grind out silver instead of like iron, so you're still like, getting your mining skill up and that sort of thing, that might be a great idea and great prep. So in addition, I would say star metal tools are going to be your next option, especially if you're going down the engineering route, which I will be in my case. And around day 3 or 4 is when people will start hitting 40. And star metal tools are just going to sell like crazy because they have such an increased gathering speed and great perks and that sort of thing compared to steel tools. And I would also say continuing your food production for, like increasing attributes. There's all kinds of different ones out there that increase your skills when you're, actively farming. So those are awesome to look for and sell on the trading post. And really just going into like the end game here, really anything revolving around tuning orbs and stone cutting are going to sell for amazing money late game. And for a lot of people that don't know, that don't really pay attention to guides and stuff that have been coming out, the tuning orbs are basically keys for the dungeons. And if a lot of the crafting things for late games are time gated, So essentially that's gonna, you know, create all kinds of issues and competition between people trying to craft certain things. For the other parts, I would say expertise items for skills are basically expertise items are for skills that increase on a given item. So like you can equip like a chef's hat or whatever, and it'll like double your products made for cooking, or increase your level for X amount of time, that sort of thing. So essentially, you're looking at these time gated materials, uh, very specific uh, skill enhancing foods and potions, that sort of thing. Um, but yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. Uh, Hopefully, this helped you guys out some, and I'll catch you later. Have fun. Bye.